Yes!
Don't tell me that's...
No. Georgie wore galoshes.
Whose sneaker is it? It's Betty Ripsom's.
What if she's still here?
Eddie, come on! My mom will have an aneurysm, okay? If she finds out that we're playing down here, I'm serious. Bill?
If I was Betty Ripsom, I would want us to find me. Georgie, too.
What if I don't want to find them? I mean, no offense, Bill, but I don't want to end up like... I don't want to go missing either.
Seguimos con más de nuestra edición exclusiva desde la casa de It en Hollywood, solo en De Película. All right, guys, this is my favorite Stephen King book, so thank you so much for making it an awesome movie.
Thank you so much.
I loved it when I was 14, and the movie's fantastic. But why do you think it was published in 1986 and it's still a relevant, great horror movie? Why do you think the material is, still relevant for today?
I think it's just because it's a story of friendship. It's just like a coming of age story. Everyone goes through, growing up, and in this case, it's a bunch of kids growing up, but at the same time fighting a demonic clown.
Your average stage.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like this film has something for everyone. Either you want to just get scared, or if you want to have like a real Stand By Me feel. It has everything. We're just a group of kids who people judged, and no one thought anything of us, and we just bonded together, and we kicked butt.
You do. So one of the things that your director said in terms of the casting process, he said that he picked each one of you because you each have sort of the DNA of your character. So I wanted to know if you agree with that, and what do you think you share with your character?
I share a lot of traits with my character.
Are you structured and ordered? And
I kind of, I don't have what Stanley has. I don't have OCD. I just have those kind of weird, random impulses that I'm like, I want this here. But I don't have it often at all. But the thing I relate to about him most is that he's the voice of reason that no one listens to.
And he's very honest. I love his last line before he goes.
He's like, really? I would be Stanley in that situation.
So are you Motormouth, or what do you have in common with your character?
I am pretty when I'm with these. I am when I'm with these guys. I'm pretty annoying, and I like to talk a lot, and I love making jokes. That's my favorite thing to do is make jokes. So.
Do you make them at inappropriate times like your character does, or?
Maybe not a bar mitzvah. But
yeah, you would.
I probably would.
Yeah.
You never know.
Everyone does.
How about you? How do you connect with your character?
I think I'm like my character. I hope to be. I think my character's such an awesome guy. He's a great friend to have, and I try to be. What would Mike Hanlon do? I try to be like him.
Mm-hmm.
But we have unique characteristics, and that's why in real life we're friends.
Cool. So wanted to ask you, I'm always fascinated, the purpose of this is kind of to freak everybody out, and the set pieces are directed so well, and it did work wonders on the audience last night. But because you're on set, I'm always fascinated, what is the mood like on set on a horror movie? Because does that mean that you're not scared at all about it?
It's just sort of normal.
Well, for the first month and a half, it was just we were shooting nice scenes, and we were all happy and whatever. And we were all hey man, that's cool. And then once we got to the scenes with Pennywise, everyone kind of got gloomier, and everything was just we got in more of an enclosed space, on sets and stuff, instead of being on location, and then it just kind of got creepier and creepier.
Yeah.
Bill, I told you. I told you we were all gonna die. We were all gonna die.
Your director said that part of the reason why you guys are so great as a group is that you each share the DNA of your character. So I wanted to know if you agree with him, and what do you feel how did you connect with your character? So it's for each one of you. So if you want to start.
I feel like I might be the only one that doesn't do that.
That doesn't?
Because I don't really get bullied at all. I don't know.
come back to me and I might have an answer.
All right.
I know mine. Mine would be, I mean, I'm kind of scared of germs.
Yeah?
And I've
So
kind
no
of,
acting required there.
yeah. And I've always kind of been kind of the one who's been, like, people have bullied me for being, like, short or, like, really small and having, like, a high-pitched voice and, like, so maybe that, in that sense, like, hey, Jack, you're super short. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. I'm going to get a part one day. And I'm going to need to be short and have a high-pitched, annoying voice. So
there we go.
See you then.
Hashtag win.
Yeah. Hashtag win, guys.
How about you?
My character is very brave. I've always wanted to be my character. She's this brave, strong person. She did seclude herself from others so she wouldn't get hurt. I didn't do that, but I naturally am kind of like a introvert, and I don't really talk a lot, as they all know. But so I guess I kind of relate to her in that way.
Yeah, and you?
For me, I think, well, Bill, my character, he's the kid who kind of pushes everyone in kind of a bad way, but in eventually a good way. It pushes everyone to fight Pennywise, and I think I'm the one. In real life, I'm always serious, you know. It can be a bad thing, but it helps in certain situations.
Do you guys agree? Was he the serious one on set?
No.
Well,
in front of adults,
that they were gonna do that.
in front of adults, he is. He's
when I lightened up, when I get close to people, just like Bill, when he gets close to his friends, he's loud and you know, has no limits.
But you were bringing up a good point about why it's so great what you guys do on screen, because there's a certain way you behave when adults are around, and there's a certain ways when you don't, and you guys get to be real kids. Did you appreciate that you had real characters to play and you weren't doing like archetypes of kids?
Because I feel like, I know Jeremy, but I wasn't, but I feel like we were all pretty close to our characters who we were, and when we were, you know, offset, we were much like the Losers Club. We were like going crazy. We'd have a lot of fun.
All right, so tell me about 80s boot camp, because I mean, I was your age in the 80s, so what did you find interesting or weird or peculiar, like, oh, they had that, or anything that you thought was
short shorts.
I didn't know what to expect when I first started this. There is definitely an 80s vibe to it. I love the 80s music, to be honest. I'm a big fan of 80s music. I love B-52s.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like 606 All Right for Two, Rock Lobster.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like a lesson on everything 80s related.
We tried to fit as many 80s references as we could. Yeah. Like with 80s movies, we called her Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, that got a great laugh last night. So yeah.
Y la razón por la cual Carrie, Christine, Cuyo y Pennywise han llegado a la pantalla grande es por un señor que se llama Stephen King y solo nosotros lo tenemos en exclusiva.
Where are you going? You look like a nice boy. I bet you have a lot of friends. I bet you have a lot of friends. I bet you have a lot of friends.
When I wrote the book, I thought to myself, well, I've written some books and I've gotten this reputation as a horror novelist, so it will be my final exam. And I'll bring back all the monsters that I remember from my childhood, the ones that I grew up with. Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, The Thing from Beyond the Grave, because the entity that is Pennywise focuses on whatever that particular child fears the most. I was thinking about the Universal monsters and the ones that scared kids in the 50s. Well, they moved the time frame, they had to the 80s. To me, that isn't the important thing. The important thing is they kept the core idea that Pennywise gets to these kids by finding out what they're afraid of and being that thing.
When you're a kid, you think the universe revolves around you. You think that you'll always be protected and cared for. Then, one day, you realize that's not true.
I'm sure my fans will enjoy the movie. I think they're going to really enjoy the movie. And I think that some of them will go back 2 or 3 times to actually savor the thing. I mean, I went back and saw it a second time and felt that I was seeing things the second time through that I'd missed the first time.
Are you just gonna pretend it isn't happening like everyone else in this town?
If we stick together, we'll win.
One of the things that I wanted to do in the novel, in all of my novels, is to create characters who are fundamentally decent, by and large. And that way, you don't want them to be spam in a cabin. You know, you don't want them wiped out. You want them to live and you want them to win. And I think that that translates to the film. That's one of the reasons I really like this movie.
And go!
Let me just say that I had hopes, strong hopes for the movie because I knew Andy's work from Mama, and I thought he was really, really talented director. And I also loved the idea of concentrating on the kids' half of the story. Hopes, but I was not prepared for how good it really was. It's something that's different, and at the same time, it's something that audiences are going to relate to, and they're going to like the characters, because to me, it's all about character. If you like the characters, you care, and then the scares generally work.